It has been a busy 2 weeks. Hi, my name is Agatha. Welcome in Agatha's cottage. I hope you can hear me. One of the neighbors is doing some works, and I do hope that Mike picks me, not the buzzing from behind. So, today I have a lot to cover: makes, fabrics, plans, some prizes, some secret projects that I've been hinting on, basically ton. But before, what I'm wearing. This is Judy T by, I think it's Made for Mermaids or Patterns for Pirates. I don't remember. I will put it somewhere here. I made it last year for So Frugal, and I wasn't the happiest about the pattern. It was just too boxy for my liking, and the scoop neck was too low even for me. And that says something. So I hacked it a little bit, and I love wearing this top. I love how it feels, mainly because I absolutely adore the fabric. In addition, I'm wearing me made earrings that I made last year somewhere, I think, and I had fun making those. Some of you might notice I got a haircut to trim my hair tiny bit, like an inch or so. Let's talk about my makes. I have been sewing tons, and I mean tons. I've been in my sewing space almost every day for last, I would say, 7 8 weeks. uh, it started just after Christmas, and um, actually it started just after New Year when I got my new machine, and I'm addicted to it. I absolutely love it. One of the projects that I made recently that I'm extremely proud of is a baby quilt for a friend. And here is a big shout out to Izzy, Dizzy Quilts and Sews, and Christine. Christine sews a lot, for putting up with my, I would say, tons of messages about the layout, because I was designing my own pattern with what I had in mind, with a few fabrics that I chose, but I wasn't entirely sure. And the girls were extremely helpful, especially Izzy with her amazing quilting knowledge. If you don't know Izzy, where have you been? Um, Check her channel. She has amazing makes on her channel, and she does have a quilt along for the sampler block quilt she did 2 years ago. She is like unbelievably skilled and knowledgeable in relation to quilts. And Christine, as always, is extremely, extremely cheerful and cheering on, and listening to my whining over, I'm not sure about this color or that color. But anyway, that's the quilt. I don't know which side it will be. That's the quilt I made. I absolutely love how it turned out. It's 36 inches by 36 inches. I quilted it on my machine using walking foot. That was the first time I was using walking foot, and I love it. And I had so much fun. I started with kind of quilt near the ditch, and then I decided it's not enough. So I just added another round of lines and decided still not enough. So I kept going, and I kept adding more lines and more lines and more lines. So it is heavily quilted, but the baby girl loves it, mommy loves it, and there is nothing more that would make me happy. The fabrics for the top were from Carlo Fabrics, and the fabric from the back for the back, it's flannel, and I got it in Love Fabric Ireland. Anyway, I had so much fun making this quilt that I suggested to my nephew, who is expecting baby boy, that I'm gonna make one for him and his wife and their baby. So I'm in process of making that. What happened to me? And that's not all the quilts that I will be making this year. I know, crazy. I normally avoid doing big quilting projects, but this year I have four 4 quilts planned. One is totally mental project. I will do separate video series about this. The two are quilts with panels. So one is with cats, one is for dragon, one will be for Alice, one will be for Chris, and the fourth one will be a Christmas quilt. Some of you might know Bethany from Crafting with Bethany. She's absolutely adorable, and she designed her first quilt a couple of weeks ago, and I fell in love with it. It's called something with Frosty. It slipped my mind. I will put this here and I will leave the link to the pattern below. So I bought her pattern a couple of weeks ago and I thought of doing this as an actual quilt, the way the pattern is with, ombre fabric, etc. I absolutely adore the modern vibe of that pattern. But then I decided, I always wanted to make a Christmas quilt and I still haven't made it. So it would be nice to actually make a Christmas quilt and it will be easier to quilt it because, I have a walking foot now and a machine that it's a workhorse, so I can try to quilt it myself. So, yeah, that's going to be a project. I have tons of Christmas scraps fabrics. I bought fabric for the background and I will use scraps of various like intensity of colors for the different things. We will see how it goes, but I'm very excited about that project. Okay, so that's the quilt I made and the quilts that I'm planning, but I will talk about them in more details in the future videos. Anyway, next makes I've been doing are tons of zipper pouches and little bits for local charity, which reminds me I still need to post them on Instagram. So there's Instagram challenge for February about sewing for your local charities. And suggestions were sewing bibs for nursing homes, etc., or dog beds, things like that. And I thought about what time I have available and what I can do. And to be honest, none of those things would uh, be within the time frame I had to make any kind of impact. And doing one bib for or two bibs for care home, it's not really gonna do much impact. So I contacted my local animal charity. They have a charity shop. So like for people who are not in UK or Ireland, it's like second-hand shop that's run on behalf of charity and all profits are going towards charity. So in this case, it's an animal charity. And I asked them, would they like some zipper pouches or, key fob thingies or tote bags or stuff like that. And they said, yes, please. And I said, okay, I'm going to make a few things for a trial, see if they are actually uh, selling, because there's no point of doing hundreds of zipper pouches if no one wants to buy them. So I made couple. I made few that were basically my own pattern. I worked with fabric remnants from sample book I got last year. I wanted to use them up. It was just reclaimed fabric, and otherwise it would end up in the landfill. So I thought, I can easily use them for making zipper pouches with a bit of color blocking, things like that. So I did a couple of those. I did two zipper pouches from OK Sew. I don't remember the name of the pattern. I will put it somewhere here. It's a free pattern and it's amazing. Tutorials are great. I highly recommend the designer. I highly recommend tutorials. They are very detailed. They are for someone who doesn't sew that much, but you pick little tips and tricks if you focus on the video and things that will be useful along the line in your future sewing journey. And I learned so much from the person who does the design. I don't remember the name. I'm sorry. I'm very bad at that. And I highly recommend this pattern. Anyway, I made two of those. One of them using just fat quarter I had in my stash. The second one I made using faux leather I got at SOSew in Nice, and it turned out so cute. Oh God, I love this. It was just, I almost didn't give it away. I wanted to keep it for myself, but I said, no, I'm going to make myself another one. I also made a wristlet, kind of like a wristlet bag, I think that's how it's called, with little twisty bowie thingy at the front, and it was just self-drafted from what I like in the size of like an evening type of bag. I used some upholstery fabric that was reversible, and I think that gave really cute effect. I haven't asked yet whatever they are selling, all those things are selling well or not. I did promise that if they will be selling well, I can make more. I can drop couple every month, because sewing zipper pouches is kind of like clearing my plate, clearing my headspace, and I love sewing zipper pouches, trying different patterns, etc., using offcuts and or sample pieces of fabrics. So if that will work, that would be great place for me to uh, kind of offset all excess of my creative energy. Another thing that I made, and you might seen it on Instagram, I made the bag for my dear friend Benita, who was celebrating her birthday in the end of January. So I actually had this bag in my mind since December. When I bought four different faux leathers from SOSew in Nice in metallic colors, so it was gunmetal, silver, bronze, and gold. And I wanted to do some kind of color blocking with those faux leathers. And Alicia, Thoughtful Creativity, released the pattern for zipper pouch that's color blocked, and basically that sparked a lot of creativity in my head. I used her tutorial to create my own pattern, just in a bigger size, and I made foldable bag. I do love this type of bags myself, because sometimes, especially when you go shopping to the fabric store, you have to stash somewhere your fabric, etc., and it doesn't fit normally into your bag. So this type of bag just kind of, you know, grows when needed. And in my eyes, it's perfect bag for mommy or granny on the go, or anyone who carries a lot of stuff. Anyway, Benita was very happy with her gift, so I'm delighted. And of course, I made a gift bag to go with it. So that's not all the bags I made. I also made a bag for Stay. Stay is a member of the fandom, like I am a fandom of the Stray Kids, and I did so far three, and I have one more in my plans. It's in progress. It's going slowly because there are some other projects I'm working on, but I will show you the one that I made for myself. So here is my stay bag. Just for clarification, that's photo card of Stray Kids and little chain. You know, why not? So this is my bag. It's made in cotton canvas I got from Threads of Green, and fabrics here are also from Threads of Green. So this is traditionally pieced sign, and it's quilted, and the bag has pocket at the back, and I put two snaps on. I would put the pictures of the bag. So I added straps here, and I added one big strap on the top, and zipper also on the top. Uh, Zipper is kind of recycled zipper from I don't know what, but yeah, and that's the bag on the inside. As you can see, it's used. I did two pockets, and it's fully lined. and it's gigantic and I love it. I know it sounds silly, but I absolutely love it. I made three of those bags, so they are not exactly the same. Each of them was made with slightly different measurements. They were all kind of, I was trying to work out what the person I'm making this bag for might need it for. So the purple one was for the daughter of a friend. She is big fan of Stray Kids as well, and she's doing her mock exams, and she loves color purple, and she just needed a little pick me up during the exams, and I thought that that will cheer her up. The pink one is for a friend who went with me to Stray Kids movie, and she designed sticker for my sewing machine. I will show it to you at the later stage whenever it will arrive. I seen the graphic and I'm in awe because it's exactly what I envisioned, and it's amazing how someone who can draw can take your idea and tell you what you want and make it theirs, but at the same time yours, and kind of fulfill the dream. And so whenever the sticker arrives, I'm gonna show you. It's absolutely beautiful, and I cannot wait to put it on my machine. Both pink and purple bag have magnetic closure. They both have welt pocket on the inside. They are fully lined, and the strap is detachable. And I had so much fun making those bags. Don't get me wrong, they are really labor of love because it can take anywhere between 6 to 10 hours to make one of those bags, between traditionally piecing every single letter separately, then connecting them together, then quilting the panel, then connecting the panel with the canvas to make sure everything is stable, then adding the what it's called, the interfacing or the foam when needed. It does take time, but I loved making every single one of them, and I have one more to make for my dear friend Lara, and hers will be black and red. So it's coming slowly. So that's all finished. Actually, no, I forgot. I made more project bags for Alice for her school folders, and she asked for a few more. So I will be working on them hopefully next week. So that's all my makes. Now let's talk about work in progress. So I have three things in progress for Chris. Basically, I just need to add hems, their boxers, and t-shirt. They're his late birthday gift because I'm a bit delayed. I just haven't had the chance to finish them. So these are on my to-do list, hopefully for tomorrow. And there is one gigantic project that I committed myself, not exactly fully aware what I'm committing myself to. So some of you might know I live in a relatively small village. There isn't that many people here, and we have absolutely lovely, friendly community. And there will be opening of like a community park and playground, and I think there will be skateboarding park, something like that. And the works around that project has been going, or plans around that project has been going since we moved here, and that's over 11 years. But finally the park will be opening on the 2nd of May, and I've been approached by one of the members of the committee that I know personally, I really like. Would I be willing to make a bunting for decorating the path to the playground? So I said, like, yeah, I can do I assume it will be 50 meters or so. So, kind of, I was told where exactly, what part, and I don't know how and why in my head it was 50 meters, where I realistically knew it's not really 50 meters because I've been going that path with Alice to school for many years. But I don't know. It's stuck in my head that it would be around 50 meters. So I was like, yeah, grand, no problem. I can do 50 meters of bunting in my sleep. So yeah, and I did ask them, could they measure so I can do uh, kind of my own calculations, how much of triangles I need to cut out, etc. Um, and I do have enough fabric in my stash to easily do a lot of bunting because I have a lot of offcuts and things like that, remnants from doing project as a girl, things like that. So I was like, yeah, grand, I can do that. I cut out a few uh, triangles for a try, and then they come back with the measurement. Um, yeah, and it's doable, but it's 4 times more than I anticipated. Basically, the length is 190 meters, and it's a lot, but I still have enough fabrics in my stash to do that. So yeah, I said, yeah, I will do it. The only thing I asked them, could they get more bias binding? Because there is no way I'm doing bias binding for it. No, no. And I have around 60 meters of bias binding in my stash that will be suitable for this project. So I did my calculations, and the triangle I'm doing is 7 inches at the longest and 6.5 inches at the widest point, and it will be double sided. So, like, maybe not double sided, but it will be lined, more like it. So, I have some fabrics that have a little bit of sun damage. Some of them I got them like that, or some of them have, you know, they're just not that interesting prints, or they are just boring. So I can use those for the back of the bunting. And I calculated that doing um, 10 centimeters apart, I will need 800 triangles, like double sided. That means 1600 uh, triangles, individual triangles cut out. I have almost 1,000 cut out already between all the remnants that I went through, some random fat quarters that I wasn't really keen on, or like I liked them, but I didn't love them, or more like I was willing to sacrifice them, and some yardage that I had. I'm on almost 1,000 cut out triangles. So I pulled out some more fabrics today that I will use for cutting dresses for Project Dress a Girl. I will just cut the same pattern, Alisa's pattern, just to make my life easier. And the offcuts I will use to cut out those triangles, just to use up all the possible remnants and, add more variety. Yes, I'm aware it's crazy project, but you know what? Um, it's fun project. It it's not something that requires a lot of thought. I can just put my headset on and audiobook or listen to music, and I cut few here and there. And basically, I started working on it first week of February, second week of February, and I'm already on 1,000 cut triangles. So it doesn't look that bad. We will see when I get to the sewing stage, but I do hope that 1/4 inch foot will help me with sticking to the seam allowance, etc., etc. Yeah, I know I'm crazy, but anyway. There are things you do for love, there are things you do for a community, and if I made 800 masks during pandemic, I can easily make 190 meters of bunting for celebrations in the village, and I know that this bunting will last village for very long time because I know it will be made to last. Call it like that. I got very special delivery today. Some of you might know that I won a prize in sewing challenge organized by Lisa, One Lisa Show during January. It was finished at WIP, and I won set of threads from Orifil, and they arrived today. I'm very excited. This necessity collection, and I was very surprised when the FedEx showed up with the delivery. I wasn't expecting it to arrive that quickly. I'm very curious about those threads because Adam Sauce keeps raving about them, and I really want to give them a go. Because they are special threads, I want to use them in a special project. So I'm gonna use the sand one in quilting the quilt for my nephew, and I'm gonna keep the black one for the very crazy special quilting projects I will be working on later in the year. So thank you, Lisa, for organizing the challenge, and thank you to the sponsor of this prize. I'm very excited to give it a try. So now let's talk about fabrics. I got fabric delivery. It will be a couple of weeks ago now because all the fabrics are washed by now. Um, from Love Fabric Ireland, and I picked some remnants when I was doing the order, and I want to use them for Project Dress a Girl dresses, and the remnants that I will have for doing the bunting, so adding more variety to my bunting. So I have four different prints, and they are in different quantities. I think I have something a little bit over a meter of this, and this one was half of the meters, and these were, I think, something like 70 centimeters. So they all will be used for Project Dress a Girl dresses, and I cannot wait to make them. I will cut them out today or tomorrow, and they will be waiting in the project bags until I have time to sew them up. Life update. I have been busy. My social calendar was relatively busy over the last couple of weeks. Uh, Between many things, I went to see Stray Kids movie, and I had absolute blast. I loved it. I actually seen it twice. And I've been to Galentines workshop at SOSew in Nice. We were making bags, so here's my bag, and I absolutely love it. So the workshop was organized as a part of the SOSew Social Club. So when you are a member of the club, you are paying a fee. It's annual fee for the club, and they are 4 nights out organized each year. One in spring, one in summer with big celebration, one in autumn, and then one in winter also with big celebration. And I will talk about my attendance of the winter celebrations in my upcoming Style Without Boxes video, hopefully next week. Um, Workshops was great fun. I learned a new technique. I learned how to do the bag with this type of closure. It's not something that really suits my style, but I absolutely love it, and I do adore the fabric. And Alice loves turquoise, so I have a feeling it will be her bag at some point. Anyway, it was great fun to make, and I highly recommend uh, giving workshops a go if you have any workshops in your area that can give you a little bit creative boost, because after doing that bag I have ton of ideas for other similar bags that will be a little bit more my style. Now, life update. As I mentioned, life been busy. Um, Alice had a lot of stuff going in school. We had parents teacher meeting, and I got a lot of praises for the progress she's making and the way she's behaving, etc., etc. And I'm extremely proud of her. We had my 45th birthday celebrations, and we had Chris's birthday celebrations. So it was, and his sister's birthday celebration. So it was busy, busy, busy time. Um, on top of that, my allergies are acting out. Some of you might know I live in Ireland, and we get like a burst of spring very early. I recently saw some daffodils and some cherry trees blooming, so spring is coming, but that means for me a lot of hay fever problems. So my asthma has been acting out again. Therefore, there were days where I just couldn't do any recording because my voice was gone. Now, quickly, my plans. So I have tons of plans. As always, I have tons of plans, but I'm not giving them any due dates because it's not advisable with the way life is. Like the last week of school, I think Alice's bus was broken one day, then there was an accident and the bus got stuck. So I had to go pick her up. There were some days where Chris had to go to the office unexpectedly and things changed. So, or I've been asked to babysit a friend's child, etc. So, things like that do happen. And um, because sewing is my additional hobby, not something that I mainly do, uh, it takes the back seat with whenever the life gets in the way. But here is my list of projects for upcoming months. So I was sorting out my big pile of fabrics. As you see, it's gone, and I pull out some fabrics that I really want to use up. Mainly they're fabrics that either have been gifted to me, or they are for family project, or they are green and they will suit St. Patrick's Day. As some of you might know, in Ireland we celebrate St. Patrick's Day on the 17th of March, and I don't think I have many green things in my wardrobe except for one long sleeve t-shirt. And you never know the weather for St. Patrick's Day. It could be sunny and hot, or it could be lashing rain, or we could have snow. Everything is possible, so I do need to prepare myself for this. On top of that, we are going to Carlo Fabrics on the 7th of March. If you would like to join us, please let me know. It's always great fun. We go, we do some shopping, we help each other with picking up fabrics and finding things that we like. We chat with Katrin, and then we go out for a cup of tea, sometimes lunch, depends how we feel on the day, and we do show and tell. So basically, each of us shows what she bought, what she's planning to do with it, or why she needed that specific fabric in her stash, even though she does have tons of them. So it's always great fun. So I highly recommend to, if you are free on the 7th of September and 7th of March, and you are in the area of Carlo, join us. And the spot we are going usually have really good cake. So I think that's all from me for today. I'm curious, are you planning to sew up your stash this year? If so, what's your approach or tips and tricks? Are you planning to sew anything green for St. Patrick's Day? If yes, please let me know what you are planning to sew. I wanted to say big thank you to everyone who watched and commented in respect of my video about sewing and mental health. Your feedback means a lot to me, and I got so many lovely messages on Instagram after the video, so many heartwarming stories. It made my heart grow really, really big. So thank you once again for watching, and don't forget, clean your sewing machine and change your needle. Happy sewing. Bye.